welcome along and welcome to this DLC spotlight on the Pumps and Hoses pack. This pack is going to be released next Tuesday, the 27th of September. And I have to say, I've had a play around with this and it is just massive. There is so much to this pack. To start with, we've got all of this equipment. So this is completely centered around slurry and fertilizing using slurry and digestate. So liquid fertilization. And there is so much here. We have 4 different applicators, one of which is also a cultivator. We've got a slurry tank. We've got a transporting tank or a field tank. We've got hoses, which, you know, pumps and hoses being this. The way the hoses on this work are absolutely brilliant, and I'll show you with that later. We've got a demonstration set up over there. But it's just amazing. But it goes deeper than that, and that's the amazing thing about this. This here is a water pump. So it's not for pumping water to use for giving animals drinks and things like that, but in conjunction with this slurry equipment to keep it clean and keep it functioning better. So there's a whole load of extra functionality added in with this pack that is amazing and just incredible. And this is reflected in the buildings that also come with it. Now, this is only a very small selection of the buildings that come with this, but there's a whole new BGA setup. We've got hose connecting slurry tanks. We've got this is a gas burner, and I'm not quite sure on the functionality of that yet, but there are so many different functions here. Stationary separator, so you can separate out, and this is what this building here is about. You can separate out solid fertilizer from liquid fertilizer with one of these separator setups, which is just massive. Currently nothing in the storage though, so yeah, we can't do that. But yeah, in conjunction with the storage tanks, running it through this gives you solid fertilizer as well as liquid, and it is just absolutely massive, this DLC. Right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to have a look over all of this equipment quickly. I'll give you a tour of it in the shop. We'll then have a look at how much building equipment there is, because there's a huge amount. And then, as I said, I've got a demonstration set up over there of how the whole thing works and how it runs things, and it is just brilliant. So we'll go and do that. But first, let's pop into the shop. So as you can see here, there is a large amount of equipment in here. I think we got 16 items, if I remember correctly. 17 items, sorry, including the wrench. The first thing we've got is the AC15. This is a compressor to clean umbilical hoses. You've then got the first of the 3 umbilical hose reels. This is the H240. You can either place the lights for the front or the rear of a tractor. That is the only customization on this. 9,350 for that one. You've got the DH240. This has 2 hose reels on it, again customized for front or rear lights, and this is 18,850. And then you've got the FTH230. This has a built-in liquid manure tank. So let's see the details for this. So yeah, it does. It has a liquid manure tank built into the front of it as well. Only a small one by the looks of it. Holds 0.4 of it says km. Oh no, so yeah, so that's how much umbilical hose it'll hold. It doesn't tell me how much there is in the slurry tank, and this is 28,500, this one. We then move on to the first of the titular pumps that are in here. This is the PU100 for 20,500. No customization on this. Again, this attaches by the 3-point and is run by the PTO. And yeah, nice looking pump, this one. We've then got the PU300. So this one does have a tank with it. Oh no, this one. So this one has a tank for 2,800 liters. It has a 200 horsepower requirement, and it looks like it takes 1,000 meters of hose, so a kilometer of hose. So there do seem to be a few bits and pieces where we get conflicting information on these, but in general, I'm loving the detail on the modeling on these, and because these are really complex things, and it's looking really nice. 71,350 for that. We get on to the first tank. This is the JC450. This is the interim tank. This has a lot of connections to it, and we're using one of these in a minute. So that is the output with the pump connecting. That I think is an input, and then you can connect at the back with your own external pumps if you want. So that is the filling pump, and that is the emptying pump there. Wheel setup, you have the standard and the standard 2, so slightly different wheel setups on them. This is 72,300. You've again got the PW121. This is a 16,000 for this, and this is probably the thing that has the most configuration of everything on here. You've got the at the back, you've got the standard. You've got a platform on here. You can also do multiple different types of tires. So Trelleborg, BKT, Michelin, Mitas, and Vredestein. Each of these, in fact, all of these only have a standard wheel setup, as you can see. You then got capacity. You've got 12,200 liters, 3,200 liters liquid manure, and 9,000 liters water. And then we've got the ability again to add a reel to this. We've got one reel, or we've got a compressor on the back, or we can have both and have the reel and compressor. We've then got the first slurry distributor. This one comes with a built-in connector for the back. Now, you can remove this, and in fact, you can connect this just to the back of a tanker as normal. This is 67,600. Next up, we got the HS5100. Now, this is the tool carrier, and this is used to connect the other distributors to a hose. It's a little bit fiddly to connect up. I had a little bit of fun connecting this in, but you can get into there and you can get it all connected up. 45,500 for this piece of equipment with 50 horsepower power requirement, and this will connect you up to one of these three distributors. The first you've got is the SPC1230. This is a slurry distributor. It doesn't work the land at all. It just spreads. This is 58,500. It has a 70 horsepower power requirement, 10 mile an hour working speed. You've then got the SP12260. Again, this is a distributor. It is 75,800, 80 horsepower requirement, 9 mile an hour working speed. And yeah, 12 meter width on this one. And then finally, you've got the BS900. This is 45,600, and this is a cultivator as well as a distributor. It has a 100 horsepower power requirement and works at 9 miles an hour. Has a 9 meter working width. We then got the water pump. I said this is purely to fill water. I'm intrigued to see how this works. I've not had a chance to have a go with this yet, but this is something I'm eager to see more of what it does. We've then got the PSS MEL 4/5.5-550. This is a separator and will separate out solid waste from the slurry. We then come on to the umbilical hoses. Lots of customizations on these. You have varying colors. I've been using the orange because it fits a lot with the other equipment. Capacity of 100 meters is 1,950, up to 500 meters being 9,750. Finally, we have the wrench. I already own one of these. This is for connecting umbilical hoses. So I think this, with that being all of the equipment that's available in this, there is a large amount of buildings as well. And a lot of these are located in the silos and production areas. So we've got a lot of style camp buildings. These are all liquid manure tanks. You've got 78,000, 120,000 and 180,000, each one holding a different amount. And then you've got the open topped ones, which are 58,000, 85,000 and 135,000. You then have another set of them, so 86,133 and 178, and then you've got 66, 100 and 130. So you've got 12 new liquid manure tanks here of differing designs. And then on the production side of things in the factories, again, there's a huge amount of stuff here. So we've got a stationary separator. So as I was talking about earlier, we've got building versions of the separators. So we've got a stationary one. We've got, in fact, we've got 3 here for 40, 25 and 60. This one here, I believe, has a small amount of storage for any manure that comes off. And this one here has a much larger amount of storage. We've got the large fermenters. So these are, placing one of these down establishes a BGA. So you need a fermenter to initially get a BGA set up. After that, you can add various extra items from it. So generator plants. So this will generate electricity for you. So there are 3 of those. You've got the solid dosage equipment. So this is where you put in the solid bales or silage or anything like that you want to put through your BGA. You've got 4 of those. Then there is one where you can tip up into as well, which is really nice. So just back a trailer up into that one. And then the final item is the gas torch. So you've got 27 buildings, 16 pieces of equipment. It is a massive, massive DLC. Really, really worth it. I absolutely love this. It's gonna be, I've got plans for it in at least 2 series, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. Speaking of having fun, let's head over here and I can show you how some of this works. So I have set up here a Kubota M8. We've got a hose on the front, but we're not going to be too worried about that. I have got the BS900. This is the cultivator distributor here. That is set up with the HS 5100 to give us a connection for the hoses. And I've got a very long hose running down here. So let's jump in this. And you can see now, if I press Shift Q, it will detach from the hose like that. And pressing it again will connect up. Now, the way this works is a little bit strange with this umbilical underneath it. Trying to get things to lower and raise has a slightly odd setup. Trying to get things to lower. Yeah. So once I've selected that and got that lowered like that, you then have to lower the tool carrier as well. That is Y. So you lower the tool carrier with Y and it positions everything down. And then you don't have a normal lift and lower. It's the Y to lift and lower. So it's a slightly different set of controls for this. And then yeah, you just run along as you do normally, and you can see the hose is then stringing out behind me and following around. I've actually got it running all the way down this road to try and get as much hose out as I could. I got a 500-meter hose, and it ran quite a long way. But it just runs so very, very smoothly and very, very nicely. What I will do is see if we can roll out some extra hose in a bit and connect it onto the end. So I'm going to run up along here. I'm going to get this to roll out a little bit more normally. And then we'll see if we can connect some hose to the end. One thing I will say is it's not actually possible to run over the hose. So as you can see here, I've got the whole thing sort of running across the field here while I was experimenting on running it out. It does move around quite well and keep the hose out of the way for the most part while you're running around the field. And I do like the way it trails like that. That does work well as well. It is a very smooth DLC and a very smooth piece of new functionality. So I've got a couple of 100-meter hoses here. And what we're going to do is we'll connect up to this. You can put multiple hoses on. You just load it up with R as normal. So yeah, normal way that you'd add things. And then to unroll them, all you do is you head over to where you want to do the unrolling. And we're going to just choose a bit of field here. And your function for that is in my case is Z. Right, start unwinding is Y. And then you can see you just back off and the hose unwinds off the reel pretty much wherever you snake it around the field, which is great. And it'll keep going until it runs out, which hopefully is we've got the 100-meter one. Should be fairly quickly. Yeah, there we go. And so now I can attach it, or we can unwind here and just unwind this at this point here and see if we can't use our spanner to connect these two hoses up. We should be able to take our spanner here and go attach. Yeah, and attach. There we go. And that's how you connect two umbilical hoses together. Really, really easy. Some very nice functions in this DLC. And it is just, I like it so much. I need to do more testing. I need to have more play around with it. But as a first impression and an initial spotlight, I really like this. It's a cracking DLC. Creative Mesh have done a wonderful job adding a huge amount of new functionality, new equipment, and new buildings to Farm Sim for an incredible price, actually. And look at how much is in this DLC, and it's just so much for the price. So if you want it, if you want to go and buy this and you'd like to support the channel doing so, there is a link down in the description below, which includes my Giants partner code. So please go and check that out. But for now, this is where I'm going to leave this. So all that remains is for me to say
thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.